This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Castles of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Castles. Available on Amazon, in Kindle, and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, the True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes. Hello guys and welcome to a brand new episode of Stories, the True and the Fictional. This is our 101th. Is that how you say it? 101th?
Yeah, 101st.
That's it. I like 101th. It sounds cooler.
Use proper England.
Use proper England. Okay.
Yes.
You know, 101st interview. It's great. It's been going so well, and we love it. And we love all the people that reach out. But please remember that we are inundated every day now. So, yeah. But yes, I'm one of your hosts, Jay Bryden. With me always is Brian, and I truly believe that this is the day that he's living the dream, like peak level, living the dream. Is that right? He's wearing his living the dream shirt.
So the person that actually bought the shirt was my wife. She bought it for me, so I could wear it on the podcast, and she also bought me an awesome hoodie with Jamie's book on the front and Cora. That's out in the lounge room. I do have the book here, but the microphone's sitting on it, and I don't want to stuff up the connection.
That's right. It's behind me.
But yeah, it's a really nice black hoodie with the Ancora on the front, so pretty cool. It's my first ever hoodie that I've owned, which is and the privilege to have your book on the front of my hoodie. Yes. My hoodie. I keep saying hoodie because we have like 5 of those around the house that my cat loves to sleep on. But yes, Living the Dream shirts are available. This is how cool they look. They've got our little logo there, and then my catchphrase, Living the Dream. But yes, Jamie, I am living the dream, doubly wearing my shirt. And I have been watching, I'm going to see the new Conjuring movie tomorrow, so I've been catching up and watching the Conjuring series. Those who are regular listeners of the podcast know that I'm an absolute horror nut, and I love everything to do with horror, so I'm very excited to go and see The Conjuring 4, The Conjuring Last Rites tomorrow, so I can let you know if it's finally the movie that scares me. I doubt it, because I was watching The Conjuring 2 just before we started recording, and I was starting to fall asleep a bit, so... great movie, but just I have not found one that has scared me yet, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm definitely living the dream.
Excellent. Well guys, remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles and Martin Kearns. They've got some great books out. Martin Kearns for the urban fantasy with a little bit of horror. Fantastic author, great guy. And Rebecca Castles all the way from Manchester. And she's got werewolf romance, paranormal romance, characters modelled off Henry Cavill, which is always a selling point. And a brand new book out called The Broken Cabin, which is not really paranormal, but it's a bit of a slow burn romance, and it's quite a personal story for her. And it's a really good read, so check that out. And yes, as Ryan said, we do have merch, Living the Dream, Read Indie, mine. But let's get right into the show. Timothy Robare, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
It's gonna be great.
Did Jamie pronounce your surname correctly?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you can never know these days because, like, you know, there's my surname is Haig with a G at the end, so it's Haigh. But everyone I meet says Hay, Ryan Hay, and I'm like, no, it's Haig.
It could also be high in some parts of English.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, it should probably be spelled Hague, like the area, but, you know, I'm half Scottish and half English, so the Scottish side of it is where Hague comes from, so it is that way, so, but yeah, I always like to make sure we pronounce our guests' surnames correctly.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say Robare. A lot of people say Robare for some reason, which is
Oh, yeah, I
wildly
can see
alarming
that.
to me.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I can
I
see
think.
that. See,
Well, I think I've caught you on a few of the book streaming and booktube places, so
uh,
I've probably heard it. You know,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
it's
I
good.
just assume that if you haven't asked him beforehand, before we start recording, I assume Jamie has seen your name pronounced
Or I'm
a
just
different
living on
way.
the
So,
edge.
living on the edge, living on the edge, living the dream. That's a new shirt. There you go.
Anyway, for those who don't know, who is Timothy Robare?
I am world traveler, avid hiker, kind of crazy about fitness, um, fantasy author, also poet. Got a degree in writing arts. Started off as a genetics major, moved to personal trainer, and then ended up in English. So pretty weird uni transition. And yeah, animal lover, eco-friendly dude, and kind of just a lover and liver of life, I guess, for the most part.
Awesome.
Awesome. Do you now? You mentioned you're an animal lover. Do you have any pets of your own?
Yeah, I have a dog now. Before I moved out, I had an eco farm, so I had some goats, horses. I
Awesome.
had a ton of chickens, peacocks, a bunch of dogs because I was working with a dog rescue. So I had
Oh,
three of my own at that time, and then had fosters in and out constantly. Um, was gonna get a cow and had an indoor outdoor pig and then some barn cats. So I had a bunch before I
Awesome.
moved. Now I'm down to one for the time being.
Yeah, you kind of have that limitation when you're like we've got two cats, which I love to death. We've had them both since they were born. Well, not born, but like 4 or 6 weeks, and now they're both 11. But we simply just got cats because where we were renting, they wouldn't let us have dog. So like, okay, we'll get cats, and they said we can have a cat, and so yeah, we got these two, and one of them's asleep on the bed next to me, and the other one's hiding somewhere, and she's the aggressive one, so I get a bit scared when I can't see her. It was so funny. I'll never forget one of the first times because me and Jamie and two of our friends we play D&D once a month, Dungeons and Dragons once a month, and we used to do it at my old house all the time. And one of our mates, Chris, brought his wife, Christine, and I'll never forget. She went to the toilet, and Ripley, my aggressive cat, um, she was sitting on the bench near the toilet, and Christine went to pat her, and Ripley slapped her in the face. It was so funny.
oh.
So funny. I was like, oh, yes, Ripley. She's lovely to me and my wife, but anyone new, she needs to get to know you.
Yeah.
But because she's a tortoiseshell breed, they tend to be more aggressive. Whereas my other cat is a domestic short hair and she thinks she's a puppy. She just jumps up and sleeps on our bed, sleeps on me. She's beautiful. So yeah,
Mm.
me and my wife love animals. We used to volunteer at a dog walking place, a dog rescue place in near DY, out near the northern beaches. We used to go there every Saturday and walk the dogs, and volunteer out there. So yeah, absolutely. You've already won me over with the animal lovers, so that's pretty much guaranteed for me to buy your book now.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. If I that should be my new sales pitch, I guess. I'll start with that instead of all the other
Yeah.
stuff I tried.
Do that, man. Seriously, like I can tell you, if you mention the dog, like that you used to, rescue and foster dogs and stuff, I reckon so many women would buy your book, even more than you would ever imagine. So
Mm.
that's how I'd pitch it anyway.
Yeah.
I might try it after this.
There you go.
For more marketing tips with Ryan Hay.
Yes, I'm now one of your scammers, Jamie. I'll start sending out messages. Oh, you author? Can I help you with?
I've got a new breed of them now, like that they want to reach out and be beta readers.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't trust anybody that first cold DMs me asking me to read my stuff. I'm like, hell
yeah,
no.
yeah. No, because like
But
you clicked on one and then went to their profile and then their profile had a link to their Fiverr and their Fiverr was like 1 day delivery. Yeah. So you're gonna read 80,000 words in a day, or are you gonna funnel it through an AI program and
yeah, exactly.
you know?
So summarize this book and put it through
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that's what
I
they're
just
doing.
love when they message you. They say, "Hey, author," and then they're like, "What do you write?" And it's like, man, you didn't even like even as a
Yeah.
bot or a scammer, you could have done like just 2 minutes of research
Yeah.
to at
Yeah.
least look real.
Yeah. Well, if you guys follow me on X and Instagram, I started I responded to them. I've whipped up a generic um response because we get them to our podcast
Mhm.
email saying, "Hi, author." And we were like, "We're not authors." Like, I mean, I am, but it's like we're a podcast. We're not. So now I offer them a seminar for 50% off.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, Ryan, I'm pretty sure it's your turn to take off the first icebreaker.
Yes.
So
It definitely is. Well done, Jamie, for keeping up with, the
the
order
pattern
of
and the
how
order.
things work. Okay. All right. So, Timothy, I'm going to set you the world. So we live in a world a perfect world where there's no war. Peace reigns supreme. There's no cruelty to animals. There's no cruelty to people. Everything, that
Political.
any Miss Universe answer, any Miss Universe contestant would answer. Everything's perfect. Now, given that we live in that world, what is one thing that you would like to get rid of?
Just in general,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume in a perfect world, ticks don't exist, so I can't say ticks. Um, One thing to get rid of, Crocs. I'd get rid of Crocs.
Oh,
The
yes.
shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant crocodiles, the actual animal.
No,
So
I love crocodiles. The shoes
yeah,
are
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The shoes. I know. They're just like, to me, it's like we have this in Australia. There's a shop kind of like your Walmart. It's called Kmart. And they have like discounted, like if you want something cheap, go to Kmart. So you can get like
fun.
toasters for $10 and sandwich makers and towels and everything you want. And they have a range of clothes for what I like to call the soccer mums. The mums that just they go to, like they say, they go to the gym, and the clothing is called activewear, and you wear it and it looks like you've been working out, but they just wear it and don't go to the gym. And they're the kind of people that I believe wear Crocs. Posers that just, they just wear the clothes and don't actually do the activities
Yeah.
associated with the clothes. So
Mm.
yeah, I hate Crocs.
I think there's only one person that pulls them off, and that's Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
But Deadpool's an outlier. He pulls everything off.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you know what? If Deadpool was wearing activewear, I'd still support him.
Well,
So
he kind of is though. It's pretty tight, his costume.
yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Okay, I'll get on board with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. What's something on your bucket list?
travel wise going to China.
Hmm.
Other than that, I would very much like to summit Kilimanjaro.
Hmm.
And beyond that, I would like to go to Worldcon as far as author stuff
Mm.
Yeah.
goes. So, which is crazy because I was only 4 hours, no, 3 hours from it this year and
Wow.
didn't know until I had a different interview and they're like, "Oh, you're in Portland. Are you going?" And I was like, "I didn't even know it was here or in Seattle, but in the
Yeah.
region." So,
Yeah.
We had a friend of the show, Joshua Walker, who he's an Australian
Yeah.
author,
He's
isn't he,
Australian. He
Jamie?
flew over.
Yeah, he flew over
oh,
and yeah, our last guest that we had on, Nicholas, was it
Yeah.
Nicholas?
Yeah. Nicholas Fuller.
Yeah, yeah, Nicholas Fuller. He was at Worldcon, met Josh, and hung out and um, got drunk a lot and had a great time. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty popular with a lot of Australian authors, and if they can afford to, they head
Yeah.
over. So I
meanwhile,
think
I'm three
that's.
hours away and didn't even make it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always that way.
Are you just off on a bit of a tangent? You mentioned obviously you wanted to summit Kilimanjaro, and you mentioned you're a bit of a hiker and a mountain climber. So, what are some of the? Have you had a chance to climb some of the bigger mountains, or are they just on your list to do?
A couple in Colorado, a couple out
Hmm.
here in like Washington State, and then other than that, I've climbed a lot of places. The biggest one would be Ocotongo and Fuego, which is the volcano in Guatemala that erupted,
Yep.
I don't remember, like 6 years ago or whatever, like
Hmm.
crazy.
Okay.
I climbed both of those in one day, which is pretty incredible. Other than that, I haven't hit a lot of the big ones just because now that climbing has become so much more popular, it's become
Mhm.
Yeah.
also a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because
It's
of that
always.
doco. What Free Solo, that El Capitan guy. Um,
Oh, Alex Honnold,
yeah.
he was actually just up here too last month climbing Mount Rainier up here.
Well, so he's
Um,
still going. Yeah.
oh yeah, he's
Oh
wild.
wow.
He went to a wedding, I guess one of his cousin's weddings or something, and his cousin the day of was like, "Hey, do you want to go climb Rainier?" Which is a pretty gnarly mountain here. Most people take 2 days, and it's pretty good elevation gain, high mountain, glacier, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Okay," and they just went and did it because he's beyond wild. He's like
He's
my hero.
he's not human.
No, he's literally like a superhero in my mind. He's so
Yeah.
wild, and his mentality is just unparalleled. So
Yeah. Well, you got to be to do that. I mean, that doco was really hard for me to watch. I'm not good with heights. You know.
yeah, even his other one that he did last year in Greenland, doing like a peak that's never been climbed or whatever, was almost just as gnarly. So
Yeah.
watching all of his stuff is wild.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I know there's a video floating around somewhere where there's a whole lot of tourists just on the edge of a lookout and they're looking and he just comes up over the railing. And just imagine that, you know? I
I
love
can
it.
see
Oh
that.
wow. All
Cool.
right. Well, the next question, Jamie, I'm going to get you to bring up that picture.
Speaking of mountains,
Speaking of mountains, yeah, exactly. What good see, I'm smart. I tangented into that. So basically, obviously, you got Nicholas. Sorry, Timothy. You can see in front of you the mount, obviously famous American mountain, Mount Rushmore. So thinking of Mount Rushmore, what are your top four TV programs of all time that belong on your TV Mount Rushmore?
Game of Thrones easily, even with the last
Okay.
season being pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
Uh, Breaking Bad.
Yep. Definitely.
Um, Probably Entourage.
Yes. Finally, someone said Entourage. I love that show. I watch it
It's
at
so
least
good.
once a year. Once a year, I watch that, man. That's such a good show.
It's awesome. I've watched it at least 4 times all the way through.
Yeah.
Um, Man, the fourth one I feel like is always the hardest because part of me wants to say New Girl
Yeah.
because I've watched it so many times and it's hilarious and I just write to it because I don't pay too much attention.
Hmm.
But like as far as a well-made show that's timeless, I almost want to say His Dark Materials, which I feel like is not popular, but coming from a book, I feel like it's actually really, really well done compared to a lot of the shows.
Okay.
All right.
That is on my what to watch list. Um, it's finished now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I like to like I think I watched one or two episodes maybe oh God 5 or 6 years ago or whenever it just came out and I thought I'm just gonna wait for this to finish and watch it all in one big hit. But yeah, okay, I like that. I like it. Everyone seemed to agree that the last season of Game of Thrones was just rubbish. Um,
yeah, it wasn't even good fan service. So that's how you know it's bad. If
yeah,
you're not even getting fan service, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad. I was gonna say Supernatural, but Supernatural is kind of along the same lines of really wavering, not
Hmm.
really like steady, like, oh, this is awesome, every episode's good. It was kind of like up and
mhm,
down. So
Yeah. But,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about Supernatural anymore.
No, because Jamie has he goes on and on about. So Jamie believes Supernatural should have ended after season 5.
what? Okay, that's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've heard.
Yeah, I agree. I agree
No.
because I haven't watched it all, but I think I got up to season 9 or season 10, and I'm still going. And I said to him, I said the cool like there's cool premises for the next season.
Yeah.
Like there's the Leviathan, then
Yeah.
there's the season where they hunt the alphas of each species and the purgatory stuff and all that kind of stuff. Um, but Jamie does say that if you watch seasons 1 through 5 and then maybe wait a couple of years and then watch seasons 6 through 15, it just feels like a different
It's a different
show
show.
because obviously, they changed show. I think Eric Kripke left
Yeah, he left. Yeah,
after season 5. Um, but I'm on board. I have watched up to season 10, and I still enjoy it.
it's not
I will
horrible.
say, I know most people like 1 through 4 specifically, or they like 5 through 8 a lot of the time because the storytelling does change crazy.
Yeah,
You get into like this fun kind of detective-y supernatural thing, and
yeah,
you get into like really deep, like biblical storylines. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why people feel that way. I really like the Lucifer storyline. I love season
Yep.
5 through 7 specifically. Like those to me are like
Yep.
the three best.
Yeah.
But I also understand why people prefer like the first 5
Yeah.
more so. I will say Supernatural's ending at least did not suck. It was actually like
Yep.
for a show that long covering that much ground,
Hmm.
they actually did it justice and a pretty good job because I was terrified to watch the last episode. I put it off for like two
Yeah.
weeks.
I haven't watched the last episode, but I know what happens. So yeah, I feel like that is a good send off to Sam and Dean. Um, and I feel like it when I get to it and when I watch it, I'm gonna go, okay, I can I can say yes, that was a good ending. So
Yeah,
I
for sure.
mean, I watched Lost and was very disappointed. So every ending has got to be better than Lost's ending.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, I agree. Just, look, and to each their own. I completely understand, where Jamie's coming from because obviously Eric Kripke created the show and his run ended after season 5. And if you think about it and you watch the end of season 5, if that's where they decided to end it, it would have been a good ending.
Yeah.
But, obviously they continued on and we got, a lot more um in depth, like you said, with the Lucifer storyline, and then, it just kept going, and I'm still enjoying it. And like I said, I'm up to season 10 at the moment. So to
I think
each their
season 10
own,
is where it gets a
man.
little washy for me. It's a little
Hmm.
like, okay, like what are you actually gonna do? And it gets a little, the
Hmm.
storyline kind of deviates from like,
Mm.
I guess from like season 9, it deviated a little bit for me. And I was like, oh, now we're getting a little like more off track, but I still
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It was still, Supernatural is never not a fun watch, at least,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
definitely does
yeah,
change. Like almost in 3 sections, it kind of changes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
and yeah.
what I
Go
love the
ahead.
most about the first 5 seasons is they were moving around a lot, and it felt
Yeah.
like they were moving around. And then obviously, budgetary issues or whatever, and they're going like, now we have a central location, you know? And it
yeah,
just, yeah, it kind of, yeah. I just, yeah,
yeah, it never got the budget it really should have, which
yeah,
would have really changed the show a lot, actually. I think that was
yeah,
people's probably problem after like season 8 and stuff. They got into really big stuff that could have used a little bit bigger of a budget.
yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of made some of it look a little bit tacky, but I also have to say, if it ended at 5, I would have never got Crowley, and he's arguably one of my favorite
Yeah,
TV
Yeah.
show characters.
Oh,
100%.
Crowley is in season
Yes.
5.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's where he comes in.
You would have never got his like character growth and stuff. You
Yeah,
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
never
no,
got
he
like
he
into
never
his
he never
character.
would have sort of taken
yeah,
over Hell.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I agree. He 100% is my favorite sort of regular
yeah.
recurring character. 100%. Crowley is just I love the smartassery. I love the, he reminds me a lot of Tom Hiddleston's Loki, but more extreme. And just the way, just the arrogance,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm on board with that. Completely forgot about that. So yeah, we wouldn't have got you wouldn't have got the depth that Crowley
Yeah.
gets in the latest season too. So
Yeah.
Well, I also
yeah,
love it because it in a show of like pretty beautiful people, like most people are
yeah,
pretty good looking in the show.
Yeah.
You
yep.
get Crowley, who has like the perfect face for his character, and he's not like this
Hmm.
Yeah.
super marvelous Lucifer Winchester looking dude. He's just like a
Yeah.
average looking shithead. That's an awesome character.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
A
Cool.
100%. Now you can make me want to watch it, go back and start watching it again. So that's awesome.
Cool. All right. So what's your zombie apocalypse plan?
well, I practice with a sword pretty often because I'm not into
Woo.
guns. Um, as someone that trained in the military when I was 17 to 21, I never got into guns. I did medical stuff and I never really cared about the guns.
Hmm.
Okay.
But I love swords. I also I have this notion that a true warrior uses a sword in a someone that's afraid of combat uses a gun. Kind of, I guess, how they viewed crossbowmen and stuff back in the medieval ages. You
Yeah.
know, knights were like only wusses used crossbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, ammo's not forever.
Yeah.
Guns
Yep.
get issues. My sword, all I gotta do is whetstone it, and I'll be fine.
Exactly.
So my plan would be pretty much barricade myself in a facility that's big enough to have farming, get people I can trust, not to be like the Walking Dead people, and just keep my weapons close and train people and keep like a tight knit group that has a place that's actually capable of survivability.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely, yeah, because you are right. If you get like some sort of, a machete or a sword or something like that, as long as you maintain it, keep it sharp, you never, like, as you say, bullets aren't forever. And I always think killing someone with a sword or a zombie, I shouldn't say someone because that makes me sound like a serial killer, but killing with a knife or a sword, it's just much more personal. And anyone can take a sniper rifle and kill someone from 500 yards away, but to get right in there and just it's just a lot more personal. I like
Well, there's
that.
not going to be any gym in the apocalypse, probably, so you might as well get your workout with a sword.
Yeah.
And you might as well have fun doing it. I mean, if I'm going to have to kill some zombies, I might as well have a little bit of fun trying to do it. Put my Deadpool costume on, take my katana out.
Yeah.
I like it.
Awesome.
I like it. That's awesome. All right. So the final icebreaker question. So I'm assuming, well, I can't assume because not everyone is, but are you familiar with Bill and Ted, like from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and
From when I was really
you familiar?
young,
Yeah.
I don't remember it
Yeah.
all that well. I remember watching it at my neighbor's house a few times.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of Keanu Reeves' first film, and Alex Winters, who plays Bill. He actually went on to be a really good director. Didn't star in too much, but really good director. But yeah, so Bill and Ted pop up in the time booth phone machine out to the front of your house, and they're like, "Whoa, dude! Rufus has asked to give you a free ride in our phone booth time machine. Where do you go?"
Uh, a very specific day, I would go back to when Julius Caesar was stabbed. The very
Okay.
day.
We've had that before.
Really?
Yeah. I
Dang.
can't remember who it was.
So
It was recent.
would you be there to join in the
Or just
stabbing
watch.
or watch?
I mean, preferably I'd like to stop it, but obviously it would alter too many things going forward, so I wouldn't. But
Yeah.
I would like to watch how the day went out. I'd have like a shitty
Yeah.
kind of cloak on, wander through the
Okay.
city and just follow everybody and all their moves to see like, you hear about it. It's basically like a myth almost, it feels like. It feels like a fiction book because it's such a wild day. So
Mhm.
seeing it in person and seeing all the intricacies that play out and trying to keep tabs on how everything works. And it's gonna sound really morbid, and people are gonna think I'm totally messed up. But I would want to see what Caesar's face looked like the moment that his basically adopted son finishes him off, because he says
Yeah.
the famous line like, "Even you, my son," or whatever, and then Brutus, does his thing.
Yeah.
So I would, in a very morbid, artistic way, I really want to know what his face looked like in that moment, because that's got to
Wow.
be an unparalleled like cinematic moment that even probably the best director couldn't take.
Yeah.
So
That's not morbid at all. Like I'm quite morbid, and that's quite timid for me.
Hey, he didn't
I
say
get
he
it.
didn't
I
he
get
didn't
it.
say he didn't say he'd film it. He didn't say he'd bring a drone and and
I would
yeah,
be there
cool.
with my iPhone 14, filming it to watch it.
no, I want to be in the
watch it
moment. I want to be
happen.
right next to Brutus with my shitty cloak on somehow, or maybe I steal a senator's cloak. I don't know. I want to be like
Yeah.
right there on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like
I wouldn't be able to trust myself to be there because I'd be like, hey, just give me a knife. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. I would like to get in on the action.
see, Caesar's like my idol.
So,
I like idolize him, so I'd love to be right there,
okay.
and then I'd love to whisper in Brutus's ear right before I get back on the time machine, like, "Hey, you just fucked up Rome forever. Good luck," and then like dip.
And he'd be like, huh, who is this invisible sorcerer that is telling me I've just ruined Rome forever? And then
Yep.
when it actually happens, he's like, damn you, invisible sorcerer.
Yeah, I'll hunt Brutus for the rest of his life. He looked pretty
Exactly.
good, so
He'll be waiting for that moment. Once it all starts to fall, once everything starts to turn to shit, then he'll be like, "No, invisible sorcerer." Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I think
Yeah.
you've successfully passed all of the ice-breaking questions. Well done. Uh, Everyone so far that we have had on, except for one person who said that they didn't like Chow Chows, the dog breed. I was very, very disappointed in them. I almost didn't let them pass the icebreakers, but then they pandered to make me accept them. But still, I still hold a grudge for that
Yeah.
person who I cannot remember
Yeah.
who it was. But
my
yes,
dog is half
so
chow if that counts.
there you go. See, I knew I liked you. I knew it. Well done. Well
Oh,
done.
They are a
Awesome. Well,
specific
yes.
breed though. Working with dogs, chow chows have their own attitudes, and they're not like the most loving breed. So,
Yeah, oh,
and they're a little
definitely.
bit.
Like me and my wife absolutely love them. If we were ever to get a dog, we would either get a bulldog or we would get a chow chow. There used to be someone just around the corner from where we used to live that had one that we would, when me and my wife went on our walks together, we would see them. And my wife would always try and pat the chow chow, but the owners were like a bit of a dick and they wouldn't let a pat. So my wife's like, let's just steal him. We'll give him a better home.
Well, I worked at a
But
doggy daycare, and I dealt with
oh
huge German Shepherds, huge Pyrenees, like 140-pound dogs, Great Danes, all these
yeah,
dogs. But the only dog and we had him all the time. His name was Gus, beautiful black chow,
hmm
relatively nice. He didn't bite anybody, but he was the only dog I was remotely afraid of because I've been around chows my whole life. I know them. And he would give you that look like, hey, you prick, I don't want you touching me right now. I don't want you putting that leash on me. I don't want you to give me a bath. Like, you do it, you might lose a finger. And it was just like that look. And
yeah.
we had an understanding. I was like, okay, you stare at me like that. I'll come back later. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, exactly. Oh, that just makes my day. See that for whoever that person was, who's probably not even listening to this, but if you are, chow chows are awesome. So there we go. So
There you
I
go.
have I'm definitely going to get your book now for sure.
Awesome. Well, why don't we segue into the writing talk section? Tell us your author origin story. How did it start for you, and how did you get to a point where you've published what, 3 books now?
I published 4
Oh.
poetry. I don't consider one of the books a book because it really sucks. I really shouldn't keep it up there, but I like the cover, so I do. I just don't promote it at all because it's really
Yeah.
bad writing. Um, and then my 2 Tales of Battle books, my third one's with the editors, and I published a small World War II novella. It was my first one out of college. And then I co-authored a spicy woman's lit romance-esque book. Um, but it all started being born unable to hear for 4 years, had surgeries. So like writing and reading always came way more naturally than speaking. Uh, Fast forward, writing fan fiction for Dragon Ball Z in like seventh and eighth grade. Um,
Nice.
yeah, like hand drawing really shitty drawings because I can't draw to save my life. And then like writing about, because the show always happens, Goku wins, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I mostly wrote the villains winning because I liked the villains way more back then, still do.
Mhm.
Um,
Who was your
and then
favorite? Who was your favorite Dragon Ball Z villain? Just sorry to interrupt, but who was your favorite?
I really love Frieza, but Cell is my
Yeah.
favorite. I love Frieza because
Okay.
he's such like a shit talking
Yeah.
psychotic dick.
Yeah.
But Cell is just like I remember watching him and I was like, oh, that's a badass villain. Like smirking, smug,
Yeah.
like I can just kick your ass, doesn't matter.
Nice. Yeah. Frieza was always
Um,
mine, just for that reason, just for the reason that you said. Psychotic,
oh yeah.
just come to fuck shit up. Pardon my French, but
Well, that's
yeah,
why in Dragon Ball Super, when they brought him back in and he was in the tournament, the shit he was
yeah.
doing, I was like, dude, I was like, this is the only good part about this whole season is he was just torturing these random people and being like, I'm gonna not kill you, but come really close to killing you.
Yep. Yeah. Oh god,
Um,
that's awesome. Awesome.
yeah, I love it.
Sorry to
So,
interrupt,
so I
but
was no, it's good. I always love talking about Frieza. As a teacher, my
yeah.
students, I teach middle schoolers, and most of them love Frieza. So um,
Nice.
which is hilarious. But so then kind of just wrote a few stuff for fun on a desktop. My desktop lit on fire, lost it all, and was like, well, never mind, don't care. Started going to college, to uni for like I said, genetics. Realized very quickly that A&P was not my friend. Went into personal training and athletics and was taking an English class, and my professor was, which is weird because she's the mother-in-law of my English teacher in high school.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I wrote in our first essay, I forget what it was, some persuasive paper, and she's like, she came to my desk and was like, "What are you doing in here?" And I was like, "Taking your class." I had no idea what she meant. And she was like, "Yeah, but why?" And I was like, "I don't know, because the person in the office told me I needed this class to get my degree." And she was like, "But you're a good writer. All these other kids, they kind of suck." She's like, "You're way above them. You should be in a different class." And I was like, "This lady blowing
Nice.
smoke with my ass. Like nobody's ever come to me and been like, 'Hey, you're amazing.'"
Mm.
So she asked me my major. I told her, and she was like, "Well, I'm just letting you know that you're a waste of talent. Like if you stay with that major and you don't switch to English." And I was like, "Huh." And it was at the same time I was struggling with one of my other classes, and I brought her in a screenplay I had worked on. Really shitty, obviously. I was like 20. I don't think anybody writes something good at 20. I don't care what anybody says. At
Mm.
20, you're mostly not a very good writer. And she's like, "This is better than I could ever do." And I was like, "This lady's crazy."
Yeah.
And then at like a week later, my professor in my one of my science classes was like, "Hey, you kind of suck." And
Oh,
I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "I'm getting two totally opposite ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum here." And I was like, "You know what?
yeah.
I'm going to English. English is more fun." And I stuck with it. I had almost mostly great professors that kind of kept me in it. And now I do my best to sell books.
Mm. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. So what? So you're indie, obviously, yeah. So what made you choose that over? Like, I mean, do you try to do what they call what do you call it? You know, query or whatever it
Hybrid?
is?
Oh yeah, query
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah. Like.
I did it. I have a whole email full. I saved them all because I want to make
Mm.
it into a wallpaper one day of my rejections.
Yeah.
Um, just 'cause I think it'd be fun. I I spent a long time and I found this woman who I swear to God, her page for the agency was like exactly what my book is, exactly what Tales of Battle is, like almost word for word. It was like I literally messaged my editor and I was like, "I think I found the one. Like it's destiny." I sent her the page and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, send it to her." So I did, and she emailed me back like a very personal, "Hey, I really love this. I love what you have. You've done good work, but like it's not the right time for me." And I was like, "But it's exactly what you're looking for. If
Yeah.
it's not the right time for you, then like it's not gonna be the right time for anybody." So my editor was like, "You put a lot of work in. You got rejections. We've gone through your book multiple times. Just do it." And I was like, "Ah, I don't wanna," because to me, I wanted, I'm going from college where I have teachers blowing smoke up my ass to
Yeah.
the real world, which then takes all the smoke out and then shoves you way further down.
Yeah.
Um, was a rough transition, and finally I was like, you know what? I just want it out there. I don't care. I would like to be trad published just because I feel like I would actually have made it in some way,
Yeah.
but also just one person buying my book also makes me feel like I made it in some way. So
Yeah.
I kind of got over that hump and just kind of went with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I kind of want my stuff out now. I want to finish something and not have to wait. It's just like, I've done it. Here you go. Next thing, like even now, Ryan's beta reading my latest book.
Hmm.
Got another friend who's just started. I got three people reading it, and it's like 76,000 words. It'll take a while for them to get through. And I'm going like, I just kind of want to put it out now. Can I put it out now? But I got to wait for the feedback. Um,
Yeah, I think after just so long of doing it, you just get tired. I mean,
yeah,
I think I had 18 beta readers for book one. Like throughout time, I kept changing it, and I sent it to beta readers, then I would change it, and give it to beta
mm,
readers. Um, and then finally, all that happened, and I was just like, man, if this keeps up, I'm gonna be like 50 before I put
yeah,
a book out,
yeah,
and then what?
yeah. That's it.
Well, as I told you, Jamie, I'm pretty much almost halfway through, and it's just as good, if not better, as Ancora. So,
Ooh.
um, yeah, if you're waiting on me to finish it, I'll probably
No.
finish it in the next week. But in saying that, like yeah, it's really good. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that.
Yeah, no, it's more so. I want people's thoughts basically on the ending.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of
that's
like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And I just want to
I
make
mean,
sure that it's not like my I don't like overlooking stuff. I'm pretty good at picking
yeah.
stuff up, especially if I write something and then I leave it and then come back to it.
Hmm.
Then I'm good at picking stuff up. Like I mean, like I said to you, Ryan, when I went through for the second draft, I went, ew, what did I put that in for? Like it was just
Yeah.
a line of dialogue. I was just like, ugh, get rid of that. Like you can, some decent, but it's always good having an outside perspective.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean, I just
I haven't gotten to any of the cameos yet, and I'm waiting to get to the
Yeah.
cameos. I'm
Yes,
just like, because
there's
I know the authors that you're cameoing in, and I'm in it as
yeah,
well. And I'm just trying to get,
yeah.
I'm getting to the stage where I'm like, I saw
Where am I?
a little Easter egg with someone selling toasters, so I know that's coming. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I'm waiting for the
It
authors
it
to show up.
it wouldn't have worked to put them in early. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
of
it'll make
course
sense.
not.
It'll make sense when you get. But this isn't about me.
Yeah,
So
sorry. I just talk about things as they come up to me. So I'm
okay.
sorry.
I mean, it's Easter eggs are like one of the best things that a reader can bring up.
Yeah.
So to me, that's
Yeah.
totally cool because I had one of my readers recently. I have like a wordplay with a character, and it basically translates to General Grievous.
Hmm.
Not thinking that most
Oh,
people would
nice.
really get it. Yeah, and she messaged me. She's like, "I don't know if this is on purpose, but it reminds me of General Grievous." And I was like, "No, it's totally on purpose." And I'm
Yeah.
glad that you actually picked that out because like the fact that you got that wordplay
Yeah.
was super
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah. Yeah. I put a lot of stuff in, especially with all the great authors we've met through this podcast. I mean, like we have a friend called Amy Cormack, and he wanted to
Yeah.
be an alien in my book. And I was going like, how can I make it work? And then I went Bing, and now he's like a prominent character in like the last chapter or the last, third of the book or whatever. I'm just
that's
and
awesome. Yeah,
the
I did an interview with Mike, and Mike messaged me on Twitter or X, whatever, and was like, "Hey, do you mind if I write a character about you in my book?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "That's like the
yeah,
biggest compliment you can give someone. I don't even care if
yeah,
he sucks or he's an asshole. Like,
yeah.
make me
Good.
whatever you want."
Was that Mike Molman?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, he's great. He's great value.
yeah, he's awesome, and like just having someone, I don't know, as an author, it's cool because you write about all these people. So someone interested in writing about you is like, whoa,
Yeah,
like that's super, like I don't know, humbling. I guess
yeah,
it's humbling.
yeah. That's it. And yeah, because Amy Cormack is the perfect name for a hybrid alien because that's what he is.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
it sounds like a cool
Oh yeah,
alien. Just so there
sounds
you
like a
go.
Mass Effect
And
character.
Yeah. So if you're listening,
yeah,
Amy Cormack, you're a star, mate. You're a star. So you got this series. Why don't we start with this series? And Ryan, do you want to ask him about the cover design because you always
yeah,
like to
yeah,
do
yes.
that?
So clearly with you can tell that they're definitely, even if you didn't have book one and book two and Tales of Battle written up the top, you can definitely tell they're part of a series. So did you design those yourself, or did you outsource someone to come up with the designs for the two covers?
So I found an artist that guaranteed me no AI use for the
Awesome.
characters, and then I gave it to my editor who also does covers to do the covers. Um, I'm very thankful that my editors like me, especially him, because I'm terrible to work with for covers. I am very much like a, oh, I kind of want this, and then I see something else, I'm like, oh no, I want that,
Yeah.
and then I'm such a pain in the ass.
Shiny
So
red
I
ball.
appreciate him. Yeah, I appreciate him not getting rid of me or being like, hey, you totally suck, go away.
Yeah.
Which I have had a cover artist do. So, which is fair. I know I'm a pain in the ass. It's okay. Um, so yeah, I found a guy that wouldn't use AI in the characters. He was like, it'll take me like 2 weeks extra time. And I was like, I don't care, dude. I was like, do your thing. And gave them to my editor, who then put it all together. So
Cool.
Awesome. No, I love the design of of the covers, and I love the wordplay on Tales of Battle because clearly, they're animal characters, so they all have tails. So I like that. So do you want to give us a bit of a rundown? Obviously, we've got book one and book two, which are both out at the moment. Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown on, the synopsis for essentially the Tales of Battle saga that you've started to set up here?
Yeah, I'll try to make it as quick and sweet as possible because synopsises are an author's least best friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so the fox you see is basically like a young rebel, and the jaguar you see, who was originally supposed to be like my main villain, he's the mighty emperor. The
Hmm.
fox basically wants to take him down, and you find out about halfway through the book why he wants to take him down and why everything that happened did happen. So they have like a circle from the very beginning that you get gradually through the first book. And then there ends up having to be an adventure for the mysterious island because religious fanatics end up coming and threatening all animals, viewing them as
Okay.
basically the equivalent to sin.
Wow.
Um, that's the main storyline in there with a lot of fun side characters, and then across the sea, which plays in later, but it starts in book one. There's a tournament of kings. There's 8 kingdoms, and they go
Okay.
to a tournament every year, and one queen runs off with a different king, setting off like destroying the peace essentially. And then going into book two, it comes more around. 3 kingdoms basically go to war in a giant war of winter, where best friends then become enemies. And then the main storyline still in the other part of the world. The lion that you see, he gets brought back because there's an ancient darkness coming. And
Hmm.
the Leos, at that point, the Emperor needs the Leos to come back, which is kind of was fun to write. But and the Ram that you see is a rebel. He wants to take down the Empire, basically just to be a pain in the ass. He doesn't like the Emperor and just kind of wants to mess shit up, kind of like Iago in from Shakespeare, kind of just like a
No.
not tons of reason, just kind of like a hateful shit. And then in book two, magic starts becoming more real in the world. It becomes introduced like the elemental fire bringers that need to fight the darkness, which is like an ancient entity that are kind of like vampires, but not like Twilight or Dracula, their own kind of
Hmm.
vampire. Um, and then that all leads into book three. So book two is a lot of world building, and a lot more introduction, and then kind of a little pieces of storylines that then come to fruition in book three.
Awesome. I really do. Look, I'm a sucker. I think it comes from being a kid, growing up and getting into a whole lot of different stuff. But especially the cartoons I had growing up. You know, animals with human
Yeah,
qualities. If you know
yeah.
what I mean. Like just
Like biker mice from Mars and
yes,
all
Street
those
Yeah.
kind of
Sharks.
things.
Yeah,
Street Shark, yeah.
probably came from Ninja
So
Turtles to be honest. Um,
Samurai Pizza
All three of
Cats as
those are great.
well.
yeah. Or if you want to get realistic, show and tell. All right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Usagi Yojimbo. Um,
Yeah.
do you ever get in those comics, Timothy, back in the day? The
No, honestly, the only comics I really got into were Spider-Man. That was basically it.
Sure, yeah. Now,
Nice.
Usagi Yojimbo is basically it is a Japanese comic book, but they're all samurai ninjas and stuff like that, but they're all animals, you know? And
Oh wow.
it's really cool. I've loved it ever since I was a kid because they crossed over with the Ninja Turtles all the time. So,
Yeah.
Huh. I did watch a
really
lot of
cool.
the Ninja Turtles.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think back, but
It'd only be like one here and there. But it's yeah, Usagi Yojimbo's got the same comic book artist for 30 years. Like the same guy writes it.
whoa, that's crazy.
Probably 40 years now, actually, because it came out in the
Kind of
80s.
kind of like Hellboy. Hellboy, Mike
Hmm.
Mignola created Hellboy and he won't let anyone else
Mm,
write or illustrate it.
yep.
He's been doing it since it came out. But I do have a question for you,
Shoot.
Timothy. So this world that your story takes place in, the Tales of Battle Saga, is it a world where animals have always been like this? Like they've always been warriors and is it like there's no humans or anything like that? How did the world work?
So there are humans and there are
Okay.
elves. Not that the elves play a big role, but they're there. Um, I have an annoying prologue that my editors basically wanted me to make because you do have to kind of explain why they're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not really a total explanation. It's kind of more like a word of mouth throughout time. Some people think this or some people think this. So I don't
Hmm.
have a definite. Some people think like some wizards ended up basically using magic to bring animal humanoids out. There are also real animals, so it is funny. Some people really hate it and love it.
Hmm.
I have horses riding horses.
That's awesome. I
At
love
one
that.
point,
I
Horses
love
riding
that.
horses. Right.
right?
Yeah.
Some people are like, "Oh, that's so stupid, it doesn't make sense." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's the fun part about like fantasy is being able to do
Hmm.
weird shit that you look at and
Yeah.
you're like, what's happening?" I don't know. My editor originally was like, "Are you sure you want to keep this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to keep it. It's on purpose. I think it's funny."
Yeah.
Um,
And
And
sometimes
you
it
would
works.
think, yeah, you would think that horses riding horses is kind of okay because they're from the same species and
Yeah.
they're not, the horses
Yeah.
riding the horses are not sort of demeaning the horses. They're
Yeah.
using their fellow brethren.
Yeah. And
If
true.
that makes sense.
I like to say because look, one of my favorite movie series is the Andy Serkis
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes,
Jungle Book.
right?
Oh,
Planet of the
Planet
Oh
of the
Apes.
yeah,
Apes. Yep, 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 yep,
I
yep.
love Planet of the Apes.
A a monkey riding on a horse with a machine gun should be funny, but it's not. You watch it and you go, that would be actually the most terrifying thing
Mhm.
you've ever seen in your life, you know? Um, so like some things work, and I really want to see that now. Like, so are they just like humanoid horses, like just with a horse head, and then they ride on a horse? Like, what's it
Yeah,
gonna look like?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's more like the animals' heads, and they have the fur and stuff on their arms, but it's
yeah,
more hands and feet. Um, so it's kind of like real big animal. Which now I'm reading Wheel of Time, and I'm like, man, now all I can picture my ram as is a freaking Trolloc. But yeah, so they're
yeah,
more humanoid. I mean, Trollocs have hooves and stuff, so I guess not
yeah,
totally. But yeah, they're meant to be like way more animal. I don't know if you play Tekken, kind of like King.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so King and then Redwall, and I was working at a gas station, and I was like, I love King, I love Redwall, so let's like merge
yeah.
them and make something basically. So yeah,
That's cool. I could actually, looking at these
Okay.
pictures now, I can actually see this would be an awesome Tekken style game. Like,
that would be the coolest thing. Honestly, if
uh,
someone was like, "Hey, do you want us to make a movie or a game?" I'd be like, "Kind of want you to make a game because I want to play it." So
yes.
like,
Well, let's get into that. Like, what was your world building process like? Did you create some characters and build a world around them, or did you kind of build a world and throw them into it?
so I definitely learned a lot about world building doing it because my world building process was a giant shit show. Um, Drawing a map after you make a world is so complicated because then you have to try to go back and relate everything, which is a
Yeah,
giant pain in the ass. And just figuring out where everything is. At least now I know to draw a map first and kind of go from
mm,
there, so I have some kind of idea.
yeah,
So I had no map, no idea. All I had was my fox and my jaguar and why they were going to battle, basically.
yeah,
Wrote it all, and then was kind of just going with it, letting it write itself, and
yeah,
then went back and was like, oh my gosh, I'm lacking so many things that are necessary, which I think is why book two might have some more in-depth world building because book
yeah,
one was really storyline driven and action driven.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, now I got this, but now I have to give like some actual life to this world. So definitely still a learning curve. I mean, I'm editing book four right now while book three is being edited and still learning like, hey, there's still these complexities. But
yeah,
I also have done, well, now I've done two other series or started two other series outside of it while I'm editing. And I've definitely made my maps first, really grounded myself in smaller level world building because this world for the Tales of Battle is huge. It's so big. Um, and then, after I started writing this, I started reading A Song of Ice and Fire, and I was like, I don't know how he must have the crazy amount of documents of world building in the entire universe because
yeah,
there's so much there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I am floundering now reading something like that.
yeah.
So it's definitely been a learning curve, a mess, but also fun. I would say it's like this series is more loose world building, and now going forward, I'm doing more hardcore preparation in world building.
Yeah. So you're building other continents and adding to the already map kind of thing.
Yeah, I did book one on one continent, and then I stopped it, and I was like, oh, I want to add more.
Yeah,
So I added the other part of the world into book one to build that, and then I started what was supposed to be a prequel, which is the book I'm editing right now, book four. And then I was like, I don't want it to be a prequel. Now I want it to be part of the series in a different part of the world called the Shattered Isles. So I had to build all these islands and all these different cultures into one. And then I did a prequel that I put down in this other continent that doesn't really come into play. It gets mentioned, so it's not super important, but it's important for the prequel. So, and now I'm done building it. It is 5 books and then a prequel, and I'm not doing any more because I just had my map for the whole world done, and I looked at it, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept kind of just adding to it because I didn't have a plan, and now I know going forward to have my plan and have at least the main map and kind of go from there if you want to build. But having a foundation, I learned, is a little pretty important.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
you mentioned so you're doing 5 books in a prequel in this series, and then that's it, is it? For
Yep.
this
Well,
particular series.
I might do a side novella now because some people really like these 2 characters that come in, and one's a pit bull and one's a chihuahua based off of
Oh,
my dog.
do
That's a
it.
pit bull chow,
Do it.
and based off of my my ex's little chihuahua because they were like
Yeah.
raised together. They loved each other.
Yeah.
The chihuahua was really mean, and the pit bull chow mix was like, well, whatever. Like the chihuahua would literally hang on her jowl and she would just walk around. So it's mixed reviews. Some people don't like it because they like, oh, it's too silly, and then some people love them. So I just want to do like a segment of their travels because they're like world
Yeah.
travelers. So I think it'd be
Mhm.
cool little segments of
Yeah.
their vision around the world at the end of the series with all these complexities, just to have like this fun little compilation of this traveling chihuahua and this traveling
Yeah.
pit bull chow mix and just like wandering the world.
Do it. You're writing my childhood, man. Like, this is awesome. So
Thank you.
how long are your books? Like roughly?
Book one's 124,000, I think.
Okay.
Book two, I think, is only has 406 novel pages. So
Oh
however
yeah.
many words that is,
Okay.
I can't think of. Book three is around 100,000. Book four right now is only at 89. I'm trying to add a little bit to it because
Yeah.
it feels a little too short in comparison. And then book five I wrote last year, and I cannot remember
Yeah.
how long that one is at the moment.
Oh, that's good. So
But
it's
around
under
100,000.
yeah it's under the Mike Molman threshold because I know that
Barely.
he doesn't read anything over 500 pages. You
Yep, he actually
know?
messaged me and he was like, "Oh, I can read book one because it's only 498 pages and not 500." And I was like, "Huh, what an interesting number to cut off at."
You know what you should do? You should cut out all the the copyright and all the title pages and all that, and then just give him a PDF and go, there you go.
True.
Or tiny writing. There's ways around this.
See, I'm a
Okay.
sucker.
So
I'll take like a 1,000-page book, honestly.
Yeah.
you know what? I like that. I like that not being limited. However long it takes you to tell your story, that's how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the best way to do it. But just going back to kind of, I guess this kind of ties into your origin story. But who were some of your inspirations, like writer wise, when you began writing? Who were some of the people that you looked up to?
Definitely Brian Jacques, just because
Hmm.
Redwall was, I think, literally what got me into reading and writing in general. Redwall is just like this. Now I just reread it a couple years ago. And I was like, man, this is way more adulty than I remember in fifth grade. But I started reading it in like fourth and fifth grade. And I just remember being like, wow, this world is so cool. This is fun. I mean, I like animals more than humans. That my whole life I grew up on a farm, so it was just cool seeing all these. It's like easy to read novel, but also pretty fantastically written to be, I don't know, pretty perfect for from what I think. And then of course George R. R. Martin is pretty much my end all be all. Like if I could shake that man's hand, I could literally just give up my fingers. I wouldn't like because I just think he's such a master of what he's done. And I mean, obviously we all say Tolkien because without him we it wouldn't really exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But George R. R. Martin has definitely changed my life. Robert Jordan, I wouldn't say I look up to. I respect him and I like Wheel of Time. Very different style than what I would do. Um, then I would add Neil Shusterman in there because the worlds that he's built and the way he writes to me is pretty astonishing. Because I've read two of his series now, and they're both just crazily well done and just I don't know, good reads, and the way his prose are really great. So,
Okay. Awesome.
oh, and I will say some. Have you read The Monk?
No.
The gothic horror
No.
novel? Really? You're into horror and you haven't read The Monk?
No, I haven't. No, I've only
Jeez.
just started getting into horror writing, like book
Oh.
from when we started this podcast. I pretty much only read Stephen King, Christopher Pike, Dean Koontz, the
Mm.
main published authors. But now that we've started this podcast, I think over the last year we've had a lot of horror writers on, and I've gotten a lot more books to read. So,
Mm.
what was that book called? Because I'm going to look it up right now.
It's called The Monk. It's like the original gothic horror novel, basically. It's like the
Okay.
foundation of all horror that we know.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm looking
I
it up right
actually
now.
read it in one of my university classes, and I would even say that book changed my life because the shock value in the book and how like gruesome and wild it is, especially for when it was written. I was like, man, if I ever wanted to really just like mess someone up, I would write similar to this. So you should read it. If you've just gotten into horror like a lot, I mean, it's like almost the foundation for it.
Okay, would you remember who wrote it?
Is it Matthew Lewis?
Matthew G. Lewis?
It sounds right, but let me make sure. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
Oh,
read
that's
that
cool
like
because
8 years ago.
I really want to read it now that because I've read some really good horror over the last couple of years from
Yeah,
indie
Matthew
authors that
Gregory
have.
Lewis.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I found it. Cool. It's going on my list right now.
It's kind of like supernatural horror, like I don't know. It's you'll have to decide for yourself and let me know because I
mm.
think it's
Okay.
fantastic, and I'm not even a horror lover.
Well, I
Oh,
might.
they've got an audio book which I have so many Audible credits. It's not funny. I might even get the audio book as well and listen to it. So awesome. Thank you for that recommendation. I'll definitely grab it.
I'm already
Yeah,
creeped
no
out by the
problem.
photo for the cover.
Yeah, yeah, it looks pretty badass. Originally published in 1796. Uh,
1796. Jeez.
1796 was the first published edition. So
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
like
I'm gonna check
I'm
that
not
out.
very easily creeped out, especially reading. But that book, I was like, man, getting goosebumps stuff. I was like, it's crazy.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it. It's 10.99 on Kindle. I'm just gonna buy it now.
There you go. No, I'm not good.
I've got so much horror to read, but I love having it to read. So
Nice.
I'm gonna get it right now, live on the podcast.
Which
Too
is
bad, too bad he's
Uh,
dead because we give him a shout out. But
well,
yeah, I was gonna say if it was originally published in 1796, I don't think he's with us anymore, but that's okay.
well, you don't know, man. He could be
He
alive.
might get he might get some royalties. That's why he's still around. He just wants the
Yeah,
royalties
yeah.
from the book.
Could
There
be
we go.
like
I just bought it then, so I'm gonna read it.
could be like
To,
that family in Japan from I think was it 15 years ago? How this family like their grandfather died and they didn't tell anyone,
Mhm.
and so they mummified him in the bed. So they're getting the government payments, the pension payments, and then like 30 years later, the government knocks on the door to wish him a happy 112th birthday.
oh,
And they I think over 20 years or something, 30 years, they got like 500 grand from the government or something.
Wow.
that's pretty genius. A little bit messed up, but
But
pretty genius.
it asks the question, would you keep a dead body in your bed for that kind of money?
Definitely not. Definitely
You
not.
know, it's just
The smell alone would just
well,
be
I
horrible.
I think they mummified him or something. They did something
Yeah,
to,
but
you know,
still, like,
yeah.
oh man, that'd creep me out. Like,
Yeah.
not much creeps me out, but like, I think that would.
There you go. Well, it was Japan, so
Yeah, true. Some of the Japanese and Korean horror movies, man, they're insane.
yep.
Yeah, like they're probably the closest thing to. They're more like I watched some of them, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's not like a scary thing. It's just like
Just
you
messed
guys are
up.
sick. You're just sick people over there.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
well,
there's a
there we go.
culture in
I bought The Monk. I'm gonna read it, and I'm reading Jamie's book at the moment, so I'll read it. After I read that, I'll reach out to you on Instagram and let you know
Mm.
what I thought.
yeah. Let me know. I'm stoked to hear it because I
Awesome.
hated almost
Yeah.
every novel in
See,
that class, but that novel was great.
Yeah.
well, like I'm a massive horror movie and TV show aficionado. I started watching horror when I was like, God, like 11 or 10 or 11. I started with Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the very first horror movie that I ever watched. So there's pretty much not a horror movie that I haven't seen or that is on my to be watched list. But yeah, book wise, I'm just getting started. We had a really good horror. We've got two good friends of the show, Don Campbell. He's from the UK. He's a really, really good horror writer, and Janelle Sheikey, who is from the US, who has got her latest book, The Clutter Man, is really, really good, and Don Campbell's latest book, Fright Manifest, is absolutely amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm all for more horror novels. I'll just load my Kindle up with them or my tablet up with them, and
Yeah.
I'd much rather have all the books now and then get to pick what I want to read than
Yeah.
not have enough, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why the Wheel of Time is easy. I'm on book 5, and I already know that I have like 10 more books to go, so I
Yeah,
don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah.
exactly.
And just quickly on Janelle Sheikey while I think of it, Ryan, I think
Yeah.
she's I don't know if she's ready for the beta readers for the Clatterman 2. I can keep an eye
Ooh.
out for you if you want, because
I follow her on Instagram, so
yeah, we'll just keep an eye out on
um
that because I know
yeah.
I think she's finished a Spider novel. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, keep an eye on that. Why don't we
I will.
talk about Timothy's other book?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, which one?
Oh, I just grabbed the three first ones that I saw, so I'll just do this. That one.
Oh no, I knew it. Oh no.
Hey,
So that's the one I was saying.
if you don't want
No,
to
it's
talk about
okay.
it,
That's just the No, it's okay. It's just the one I was talking about earlier that's really badly written. So I
oh
wrote it at the
okay,
same time I was writing Tales of Battle.
all right, okay.
Um, and Tales of Battle was taking so much out of me,
Hmm.
just like mentally, that I was like, I'm gonna write something, a novel on the side that's just totally ridiculous. The main character is a wolf. It's called Wolf because he's a wolf, like an astronaut wolf that can talk.
Oh, so,
Um,
you're selling me, man.
kind of humanoid as well. And then the 12 knights are all knights based off of emotions. So they all
Oh,
have
cool.
specific colors. They're kind of based off the old gods, but they all also are based off emotions that match their colors. Um, and God is basically, growing up religious, and I'm not like a Satanist, just for record, no matter what my mom might think after I wrote this. So I always found Lucifer obviously to be very intriguing.
Hmm.
And I was like, what if I flip the script? Lucifer is the good dude. God's a total dick because he's kind of a dick in the Old Testament, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Um, so Lucifer is the good dude. God basically wants to destroy everything at this point, and he's like chasing down the old gods like Ra and Anubis, the last remaining ones, to eliminate them. And then there's like a confederation. Humans have gone into space, whatever. Um, and basically at the end, they're all fighting God, and the wolf astronaut, who's like this goofy character. He's named after a high school friend. He's kind of just like this really silly, doesn't really know what he's doing hero. Um, so I probably should take it down and edit it again because it probably is a good premise, just
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
great
it sounds
execution
like
on it.
something that I'd really be into.
Yeah, I probably just need to re-edit it because it's just
Yeah.
not executed properly. The story I actually really like. I just published it more for fun, just to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I did it, whatever.
Yeah.
But now that I've gotten further in my career or whatever, I'm like, oh, I should take it down, edit it, or just put in edition two, I guess. Be like, oh, the
Yeah.
first edition's kind of a scrub, but get the second
Yeah.
edition. Um, and I did start with book 2 of it. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been writing everything else.
Yeah.
So it's not that I hate it. I like it. It just, as far as writing goes, I need to
Improve. Yeah.
redo it a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's a cool premise. I know definitely our mutual friend Chris Ryan would absolutely love that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, 100%. I love it because it's kind of um I'm not saying it's exactly like it, but I'm a massive God of War fan. And, especially the last one, or not the last of the original series where you just pretty much taking down all the Greek gods and but yeah, that sounds awesome having God as a bad guy and have Lucifer as a good guy. I really like that.
My mom didn't agree. What'd she say? She was gonna buy the book. I was like, no, you're not gonna like it. And
Hmm.
then she was like, why? And I was like, well, I made God like the bad guy. And she's like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, I made Lucifer the good guy. And she's like, why would you do that? And I was like, because it's fantasy. It's fine. And she's like, so you're fantasizing about God being bad and her being good? And I was like, no, not quite, but this is not going to be a good conversation, so we're just gonna cut
Back
it
away.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not religious at all. Like at all. I wasn't raised in a specific religion. I have no interest in religion. But I had my grandmother, her parents, my great grandparents were very, very strict Catholics. And so my grandmother was not as strict, but she was a Catholic. But I remember because me and Jamie were in punk bands long time ago. Um, we were in different punk bands, but I go, yeah, as you do, you're proud of something, you give CDs out to the family members and stuff. And my great grandmother said refused to listen to it because I was playing the devil's music. And I was gonna go
Oh,
and I was gonna
yeah.
go to hell for playing the devil's music. And I'm like, it's punk rock. So but she was a massive bitch anyway. So I never liked no, I like I say it like it is. If I don't like you, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And I see the thing is, my great grandfather was the nicest guy ever. I loved him to death. He went through World War II and he was one of the rats of Trebuk that was in the POW camp. That was, he was a big guy and he came back emaciated. Like I saw some photos where he came back from World War II and he looked like a skeleton. And I honestly think if he was alive right now, he would say he would rather go to World War II than deal with my great grandmother because she was horrible, racist, she was just not a nice person. So she's down below while he's upstairs. Um, but yeah, she used to say, "You're playing the devil's music, you're gonna go to hell." I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Don't take the CD. That's one more for us to sell, you know.
That's kind of what I want
But
to do, and I kind of want to redo this series now, just because I've been to India since, and I've been
Mm.
mhm.
to all these places. I've studied Buddhism since, and I really just want to like. I think I have Thor in a bar in book one. I can't remember, but there's so much fun you can do with like the Hindu gods or with Buddha and
Yeah,
stuff. So I started doing that in book two. Um, and like I grew up Christian. I respect Christianity. I've learned a lot about Islam. I love studying Buddhism, but I think there's a lot of leeway and a lot of fun you can have with it to make it exciting.
mhm.
It doesn't have to be, some people. I mean, everybody's offended by anything now anyway, especially us
Mm.
Americans. Everybody's always got their panties twisted and pissing about something. Um,
Yeah,
but to me, you can just like poke a little fun at things and have fun with it, and that's fine.
yeah,
And I think now that I've like going to India and having friends in India and learning about their gods, I'm like, man, there's so much I can do with a monkey god that moves mountains and shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's so much you could do with it. There's so many, and that's one good thing about there being so many different religions and so many different, history, so much history in the world now about all the different religions and all the different gods. Like you say, you've got all the Hindu gods, you've got all the the Greek gods, the Norse gods, the everything. There's so much you could do with that series. I
Mm.
think like from what you said about book one, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think I want to get back into it after I'm done these couple series and like actually
Yeah,
really grind down and make that my focus.
yeah, awesome. Oh, that'll be heaps good. I'll definitely be on board for that as well.
There you go. Reader for life.
Hmm.
All right. What do you say we jump into some bonus content? Are you ready for some
Yeah,
bonus content? Now, the question we're going to pose to you is: do you want the six standard author-related kind of book questions, or do you want to play a game?
yeah.
Might
There's
as well
no,
play a
there's
game. The way
no,
you said it
there's,
makes me feel like I'm on Saw.
yeah,
No pressure.
there's no pressure. You can pick whatever you want to pick. Like I said, the questions in the game, it's all just as good as each other. So don't
Yeah.
don't don't feel obligated to just do one or the other.
Well, I'm creeped out by the Saw little puppet guy, so I'm gonna go with the game because
Ooh.
I know in real life if I was presented with the same thing, I would be like, well, I'm just gonna risk it and say fuck it. So
All right. Let me bring up the game.
Have you got theme music for the game yet, Jamie?
No, not really. Um,
Okay.
one step at a time. All right, this went really well last time. Okay, so it's called story pitch. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a number between 1 and 6 for each category. The last one, the optional addition, is optional. So if you wanted us to throw in something a little crazy, that's your option. But you're going to pick a setting, a genre, a main character's profession, and an optional addition. Me and Ryan have the list.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
Now,
two.
just quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going
I've
to say
got
you've
two
got
there.
2 lists.
So we'll still go with the first one. And if he wants to play twice, we'll go with the second one.
Oh, I see. I see. That's why you've done that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
All
so just
right.
pick a
So
number.
So pick
if
four numbers, essentially, like 1 to 6.
Okay, so pick 4 of them right now.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, 3, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, so setting genre.
so 3, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. So let me take a look at the thing. Okay, so for setting, oh no,
Mhm.
yeah, for setting, it is a suburban cul-de-sac, is your setting.
And the next one, the genre was number 4. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so your genre of story is thriller/mystery.
And your main character's profession. Sorry, your main character's profession is a serial killer on the run.
And your what was the number for the optional edition?
2.
Okay, so your optional edition, now you must include this in your story, is aliens.
So,
This is like a total opposite of what I write, so it's hilarious.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
all
what
right.
makes it so fun.
Yes, so you got to pitch us a story with set in the cul-de-sac. It's got to be a thriller or a mystery. It's got to have a serial killer on the run, and it's got to feature aliens.
You know, all I can think about is that Shia LaBeouf movie just with aliens in it. What's that Shia LaBeouf movie?
Oh, what is it? I know it.
Transformers?
No, the one where he's got like a killer neighbor and they're like spying on him and the girl. I can't remember what it is, but basically that's what I feel like just with aliens. It's like that meets District 9. Okay. Cul-de-sac.
Yep. Main character is a
What is
serial
it?
killer.
Suspense?
The
Okay.
genre is thriller or mystery.
Okay. And the serial killer can't be an alien.
I would allow that. I would allow
Yeah.
Okay, see,
that.
that's more fun. That I can work with a little more. Okay. So I would have a psychotic alien escape from a distant galaxy, and he's come to a small little cul-de-sac outside of, let's say, LA to torment the LA people. New York get it all the time. And he's going around, probing, doing his studies. I'm gonna make it really gross too. We're gonna make it super gross.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
He's probing only women
Ooh.
for possible reproduction and DNA splicing.
Okay.
And so he's kidnapping women from neighboring cul-de-sacs and bringing them to his.
Mhm.
And let's see, so alien cul-de-sacs.
Yeah. You've got
Trying to think of what the end premise would be. Oh, I guess, and then a neighborhood watch starts, trying to figure out what's happening with these missing women, their wives and
Yes.
whatever. Actually, all ages, their wives and their mothers,
Yes.
all the way from 18 to 80. And a neighborhood watch starts, and this alien has to go on the run because he's being spotted. And then it turns out, then if they bring in the military down the line just to get this one alien killer, and then you can either end in a really normal way where he gets captured, brought to Area 52, or whatever you want to call it now, and then, or you can get Independence Day and a giant mothership comes down. The alien meets the president and is like, no, we're taking this one back home, and it's like the alien emperor's son or whatever.
That I like that. I can see that movie.
Yeah, he
I
was just
really
down.
can.
He was just down on Earth having fun, murdering all our women.
Trying to create the perfect species.
Yeah. I
I
like it.
like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I think you could sell some books with that. This is what we really mean by the game is we're actually just trying to get Jamie some ideas for his next book.
No, I
Um,
got enough ideas as it is, man. Um, do you want to play again?
Sure, why not?
Setting genre. Okay, now this is you can give us the same numbers because we're doing using a different graph now. Um,
Oh,
or you can choose a different set of
I'm gonna
numbers.
go. I'm gonna go with four fours.
You're gonna get all fours.
Yep. I used to
All
have an obsession with the number 4,444. I don't really know why. I just always have, so there might as well do it.
right. Okay, so your setting is a secondhand bookshop.
so okay, the genre is historical fiction.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Um, and your profession is a dance instructor.
And oh well, this actually fits in well with the genre. Your
Yeah.
optional addition, you have to have a historical figure in it.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of fits in with the
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. I wish I knew more about dance instructors.
They dance, man. All you need to know is they dance. Yeah. Um,
Okay, so secondhand bookshop, historical fiction, dance
dance instructor
instructor,
and a
and
historical
historical.
figure has to be in it.
At least this is more up my alley because I actually love reading historical fiction, but I've
Mm.
never read one with a dance instructor. Okay, so I gotta think of a. I'm trying to think of a historical figure that'd be around with with a secondhand bookshop. It's gonna have to be somewhere in like England, I guess, or
Yeah.
France. Um, all right, let's go with Napoleon
Okay.
Sure.
because I feel like he danced in his spare time. He had to have. I just remembered.
I mean,
At least he's small, so he'll have the flexibility and the the stamina.
have we not seen
Yeah,
Bill and
and he gets
Ted?
pissed. And he gets pissed
Yeah.
because the girls are like, oh, you're shorter. You can't spin me. I have to spin you. So he gets all mad. That's how it all starts, really. Um, so he's being a dance instructor. Napoleon's being a dance instructor, and he's going. He's getting ready to start his reign of terror, whatever you would like to call it. And he goes into a secondhand bookshop to read little more about war. And while he's reading, he sees his first dance partner, who he remembered he had like two left feet, and he went to spin her, and he fell over, and everybody laughed at him, and he was embarrassed, and he had to move cities to become a dance instructor elsewhere before he became the true Napoleon. And that's how it all started. His rage built up, and he saw her, and he took a historical text about dancing, and he beats her head in and disposes of the body, and that's when he realizes he kind of likes the act of killing, he likes the power, and learning to lead and dance is similar to sword fighting and leading an army,
Mhm.
and that's how Napoleon actually starts to become in power.
Awesome. I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely got potential.
Yes. Well, thank you for being the second person to play Story Pitch. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
I love a good challenge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Awesome.
now all I can think of is Napoleon dancing and chasing down an alien serial killer, though, because he put the two together.
Oh, that's brilliant. Um,
And if anyone that does this game actually write a book out of these scenarios, we expect to be at least characters in the book.
yes.
That's fair.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. The last thing we're going to have to do is give you the floor, as they say,
Mhm.
to plug anything you want to plug. Tell us where we can follow you, where we can buy your books, and anything you want to say. The floor is yours.
Okay, here's the spiel. A, you all should just buy my book because I'm asking you nicely. B, you can follow me at AuthorTRobare on Twitter/X. Writing with Wolves 22 on both Instagram and Threads, and also AuthorTRobare on Instagram because I have 2 separate ones. One is my life and one is author stuff. You can follow AuthorTRobare at TikTok, although I've been not doing a lot of TikTok lately because it's annoying fighting that algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
You can find my books at Amazon. They are on KU. And I do have book 1 coming on Audible soon. I'm waiting for them to they're reviewing it right now. Please don't read God in the 12 Nights until I redo it.
Yes.
And I think you can find me on Facebook at Timothy Robare, but that's not really that important compared to the other
no
ones.
one's there. No one's there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really that important, except for all the bots that are there.
Shout out to all the bots.
Yeah. Shout out to the bots for making life fun
Yes.
and annoying and filling up my DMs.
Well, start doing what I do with Scammer of the Day, and they just back right off.
Oh, I published one the other day, and I was talking about shit and stuff, and the bot was like, "Oh, that's very beautifully written." And I was like, "You suck." Twats. I want to know who programs them.
Yeah.
Shout out to my editors for Writer's Journey Services for helping me out and being awesome and telling me when I suck when I need it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You have to have someone to not everyone needs to say, "Oh, this is amazing." You have to get some feedback from somewhere,
Yeah.
As long
Actually,
as
I
it's
just had an
constructive
Australian
criticism.
rip me apart. So I had an Australian guy rip me apart, but I actually appreciated it. I was like, okay. And it was actually a good review. But I was like, man, he went in. He definitely savaged me. But I actually appreciated it. And just one of those things where a reader goes into a book looking for something different than the book offers instead of going into the book open to what the book is.
Yeah.
Which I think happens a lot. As a reader, I don't. I'm always open. I have zero expectations until I get into a book. But I could see someone being disappointed and having specific expectations that your book doesn't meet. So just one of those situations, which is totally fine and cool, and everybody has their opinion. So going to uni for writing, that's literally all we did basically was shit on each other all day in a not human centipede type of way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and shout out to you guys. Thank you for having me on and working with me and allowing me to be a second to play your game. So
awesome.
That's all right. You're welcome back anytime. Just give us some notice.
Definitely.
Just so we can
be 201.
Hey, 201. Oh, geez, wow, that is some notice. Awesome, guys. Well, all the links will be down in the show notes. Remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles, Martin Kearns, if you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. But until next time, keep supporting those indie authors, and we will catch you on the next episode.
See you next time.